So I'm in my room scrolling and I'm mouth breathing. I'm in the gym working out, grunting, and I'm mouth breathing. I'm walking around in my day-to-day life and I'm mouth breathing. I'm playing soccer and I'm mouth breathing. I'm sleeping and I am mouth breathing. You see, you don't realize just how much impact and effect that how you breathe has on your life. When you start to realize that you can improve your life simply by improving how you breathe, you will see incredible effects. You see, when you start to breathe right, when you start to breathe correctly, you will be more calm, less anxious, less nervous. Your mental health will improve. You'll start to feel more confidence. Your posture will improve. All of these things come from improving the one thing that humans are meant to do, right? But that we're not. Like, you don't think about how you breathe, and that's the problem. You see, we as humans, we're in a society in which you always want to please everybody. You always want to make yourself look good. You've always breathed in the wrong way. You've breathed in through your chest because you want to show your good posture. You don't want to expand your belly because that'll make you look fat and unattractive. And you don't want anybody to hear your breathing. You want to go, even though you're supposed to take big, deep, controlled, slow breath, like a powerful caveman who controlled the tribe and who just went. Alright, looking kind of weird. Okay, so this is a book called Breath by James Nestor. It's called The Science of a Lost Art. And honestly, it is an incredible book. Like, first of all, the storytelling is very good. The writing in the book is very good. And it's just a very good book about how breathing has changed the guy's life and how it can change your life too. Like, he explains that your breath has so many incredible things that it can do to you. Like, some monks in the mountains are able to control their body temperature just because of how they breathe. And some Indian yoga dude, he went into a hospital and he was able to get the heart rate thing to completely not work because he was getting his heart rate so high up and so down because of his breathing, and they thought he was dead just because he was controlling his breath in such an incredible way that it had just his breath had an incredible effect on his body and all of these other things which are just incredible. And so this guy in the book, he does an experiment in which he tapes his nose, or he plugs his nose, and he can only breathe from his mouth for 2 weeks. And the effects that mouth breathing has on him are absolutely detrimental. His health stats just plummet, his cardio plummets, everything in his life absolutely worsens because he's mouth breathing. There's something called sleep apnea and snoring, and these things come from mouth breathing, and they can actually kill you in your sleep because you're mouth breathing and your breathing is so bad. But then he did the opposite thing. So he taped his mouth and he can only breathe from his nose, and the effects that only nose breathing had on his body weren't detrimental. They were absolutely incredible. He felt so much better, he looked so much better, he performed so much better in all of the health stats, his cardio was up, and absolutely everything in his life improved. His sleep improved, his confidence improved, and his overall health improved. So how can we do this? How can we improve our breathing? Well, I think the greatest thing you can do to improve your breathing is just be more mindful throughout the day about how you breathe. A lot of us are very mindful in our modern society. A lot of things have absolutely destroyed our mindfulness, and they have also destroyed our breathing. So when you see everybody in your day-to-day life, when you see people on the subway, on the bar, in the train, on the bus, they might just be just mouth breathing, right? Ever next to a friend or somebody close to you, you can start to really see how they breathe and essentially how healthy they are just based on how they breathe. And if it's really fast, then you can just tell that they're not a good breather. And honestly, that's probably 99.9% of the society. 99.9% of humans don't know how to breathe, even though that's the one thing that we don't have to think about. The one thing we don't have to think about is the one thing we don't know how to do. How crazy is that? And just by starting to be more mindful about how you breathe, and by starting to take long, big, deep breath throughout the day, you will start to see an improvement in your life. When you start to control your breathing and when you start to improve your breathing, every single aspect of your life will improve. There's a book called The Way of the Superior Man, and the author, David Deida, says that breathing is like the pathway to greatness, essentially, and that controlling your breathing will make you surpass and like dominate all of your competition simply by like being more mindful and taking big deep breaths. And the author of the other book, Breath, James Nestor, he says that the perfect breath is 5.5 seconds in and 5.5 seconds out. And what's funny is that when you take one breath like that, it's actually like 5.5 of those breaths that make a full minute. So 5.5 seconds in and 5.5 seconds out times 5.5 is a full minute. So it's just kind of fun. Bro, I'm not breathing properly when I'm doing these videos. I'm fucking out of breath just by talking to you. I gotta do more cardio. Yeah. And so honestly, like, it's quite hard to be that mindful every single day of doing like 10-second long breaths throughout the day. It's really hard, but just be mindful about it. Like, honestly, in my day-to-day life, when I'm in school, when I'm doing this work for you guys, when I'm just working, when I'm doing normal things, there are some periods where I'm just like, oh, that's right, breathe properly, and I'm like, and I do that for like 30 seconds, and then I'm back to my everyday life. But if you start to do that more and more and more and more, then you will start to see a shift where you're just more mindful about how you breathe. Your health will improve, and all of those things that I talked about, your posture, your concentration, your confidence, all of this will improve just by starting to improve your breathing. Another thing you can do is, if you started to meditate, and if not, that's fine, just do it, is you can do meditation, but you can kind of do like deep breathing meditation. And so when I'm meditating, like sometimes for my meditation sessions, it's like a normal meditation session, but I'm really mindful about how I breathe, and I really try to take these big, deep, long breaths, or my stomach bulges, you know, breathing through your breathing through your diaphragm. That, you know, those like sometimes your teachers do a mindfulness session in school, and they're like, breathe in through your diaphragm, everybody, diaphragm is very important. And it actually is, like, you have to breathe through your diaphragm in order to really live a deep, healthful, and meaningful life. Alright, so I hope this helped you, and I cannot wait to see the progress that you make. Cheers, bro.